Hey guys, welcome back to Giving Unbothered, the podcast.
If you haven't seen already, we've got a new logo.
Yes, this is the first episode since our new logo.
It is. We was going to wait to do like a full rebranding, and then me and Yelko just got too impatient, so we just want to do it now.
You were too excited.
We were. And it looks cuter now. You can see our new little profile picture.
Well, we think it does, so hopefully you think so too.
So, as Yelka is approaching the end of her 20s, I say approaching, it's the end of the year, so you've still got like a what? 6 months?
It's already March, it's going really quick.
Okay, you've got longer than 6 months. You've got like 7.
Okay. Boo-hoo.
I feel like the maths wasn't mathing then, but around then. We thought that we'd do lessons, things we've learned, you know, in our 20s. Because I feel like it's a whole 10 years of change.
You're not even that deep into your 20s
And
yet.
I've had 10 years worth of change in the past 2 years. God, I'm good.
I mean, to be honest, you've gone through it. So
I've lived a life and it's only been 2 years into my... Am I 23? No, I'm not 23. I actually had a crisis then. I turned 23 in July, guys.
to be honest, I feel like my 20s went so quick just because of the pandemic. I had this conversation the other day with someone. I've lost so many of my good years because of the pandemic.
To be fair, the pandemic was my 18th birthday. So from like 18 to 20? Was it like 2 years?
2-3 years?
Yeah, so I didn't really have any of like that stage.
I get that, but to me, I feel like 20s is way more...
Sorry, I forgot it's a competition.
No, I didn't
You
mean
have
it
it
like
way
that.
worse than me, I'm really sorry.
No, I didn't mean it like that. I just think like in your 20s, to me personally, is a time where you try out so many different things and figure out the person you want to be, what you want to be doing in life, and then...
Yeah, no, 20s is sucky.
Yeah, so...
Because that's when you kind of get taken seriously as well, in like job opportunities, like things... You're more open to things.
Yeah, I mean, not really that does apply to me because I work for myself, kind of.
What, because you're a model? I didn't know that.
In case you didn't know, guys. Well, talking about that, now I've aged because of the pandemic. I've lost my good years as a model.
I wouldn't say you've aged, babe. I don't think that's quite how time works.
I mean, yeah. But no, that's what I mean. Anyway.
Moving on. Let's start the show.
Let's get into the episode. Who's doing the
I'll
first?
go first because I want to.
Of course. I never have a choice in this friendship.
Okay. You might not get this because I feel like... No, because I feel like you... Maybe you have because like the modelling industry, but maybe also not because you are a model in the industry.
Am I?
You're a model if you didn't know. So, I have always been very insecure. Recently, I feel like I'm really getting better at it, but like in the past, I've always been so insecure just about my appearances, not even about my personality. Actually, that's a lie, probably that as well. Like if I see someone, they've got traits that I wish I had, I would be so jealous and I wouldn't want to be around people that I was jealous of because it would make me feel shit, which I think is like a normal thing. Like if there are people that you almost wish you were like, being around them would just make you feel worse. And I think that over the past couple years, turning jealousy into like inspiration and motivation is so much healthier. Like a few years ago, I probably wouldn't be friends with you.
Take that as a compliment.
But I don't even know, like, you know, I think you're beautiful and everyone thinks that she's beautiful because she's stunning. But I just think that if I was in a friendship and I would feel that on nights out, if I would get looked at as almost like, oh, the loser friend or the ugly friend, I'd be like, oh, no, not being friends with you. But like, why don't you want to be friends with beautiful people?
It's funny that you say that because I previously was in a friendship and we were like a group of people and someone mentioned to me from the group that when I go out with someone else from in the group, they feel so insecure because they felt like people were always looking at me. But also this person was in a relationship. So I'm like...
Why do you want people to look at you?
Yeah, why do you want that attention? I'm single. I need the attention.
I'm desperate for the attention.
But it's annoying because like... I don't know how to say this without sounding so like big-headed.
Just gonna be like, I can't help it.
I can't help it. I just like, thanks, mom and dad. No, I'm kidding. Well, no, thank you, mom and dad. I do appreciate it a lot. But no, I think it's just like, how do you even go about that? Because I'm also someone, you know how much I hype you up.
I think that's like the big difference as well. I think I would always assume, and maybe it's just the people that I knew, the people that were gorgeous were also very like belittling to other people. Whereas now, and maybe it's because my confidence has grown as well, not even looks wise, but as a person, it all levels out, because there are some gorgeous people that I know, but if I could choose between being them and being me, I would still be me, because all of the qualities that I have that I like about myself, or like my family, or like my job, like there are so many things in my life that I love that I'm like, do I think that maybe being more attractive in that way or having those features would make me happier? No.
And also, people that we think are like the most beautiful people often have the biggest insecurities.
Yeah.
They're usually people like, everyone has insecurities. Everyone does. I'm sorry, but you're not going to tell me one person, there's not one person that doesn't have something or doesn't compare themselves to someone else. Like, even the people we think, like you were saying, I wouldn't want to be friends with them because they're so beautiful, they feel
that about someone else.
Yeah, like they have insecurities and look up to someone being like, oh, I wish I was like them.
Yeah. And also, being attractive is literally probably one of the most, well, not the most, the least important things.
Yes.
Ever. Like, not important. We are all going to die.
We're on a flying rock. We will be dead in a few years because of the other flying rock coming at us.
Exactly. The fucking meteoroid, where the fuck it is. Like, it's not important. Like, no. I choose to be happy.
But isn't that sad, like, how society now these days with social media, I mean, that's a whole other topic, but it did, like, it became such a big thing. Unfortunately, it really did.
It did. And, like, not even looks wise, like, if you see someone you're jealous of their life, or they're successful, or they've got more money than you have, or they're this, they're that, instead of complaining and being like, oh, they've got that and I haven't, okay, what can you do to get that? Like, use them as your muse, but like, okay, that's what they did, so I'm going to let that inspire me and do that.
Oh my God, I used to be the biggest, it can be toxic as well, let me say that, there needs to be limits. Let's go back to the Victoria's Secret angel shows back in a couple of years ago.
Yeah, that's not the inspiration I'm talking about.
No, but like, I used Candice Swampole was my muse. Still think she's actually, she's one of my crushes. Candice.
She's gorgeous.
She's stunning. But I had her on my fridge.
I remember you telling me this before, and I thought, not healthy.
Toxic. I used to have a photo of her from the shows, one of the shows, on my fridge, and whenever I felt like having an unhealthy snack, I looked at it and I was like, I aim to be like her, so I didn't. I would have a carrot instead. Or cucumber.
That reminds me of the saying, and when I hear people say it, it makes me want to literally like rip my legs off and throw them at it. Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels.
Oh my God. I think, who came up with that? Was that Karl Lagerfeld?
Because yeah, he was insanely stupid.
Yeah, but I don't know if he came up with that saying, but he used to have like quotes like that.
And that's another lesson that you've learned. Do not do that anymore.
Exactly. And I am not.
No, you're not.
I mean, I feel like that should be like a whole other episode where we do speak about body
image.
Yeah, self-acceptance, body image, body dysmorphia, because I have a lot to say about that. I'm finally coming out of it slowly. I still have my days.
I'm very proud of you.
I love you.
I love you.
So,
do you want to go on to your lesson?
I feel like my lesson is
oh no.
I'm like putting on the serious hat, as I always have. Yeah.
Yelka just really makes me laugh. Like, you can literally crack a joke and she'll answer it seriously. And like, Yelka, I know I was being funny. And now I'm clearly not being funny because you took it seriously. So now it's a wasted joke. Okay,
this goes out for all my people-pleasing people. People-pleasing people.
The triple Ps.
I actually quite like that.
No, I quite like that.
The PPPs.
Yeah. PPP.
Something I've really learned over the years, because I still am a people pleaser and I am actively working on that, but something I have learned is that you always have the freedom to walk away from something or to make a change in your life. Mm-hmm. And there will be people that you hurt along the way, but that's not, how do I say this? I don't want to say like it's not always on you, but like,
it's inevitable.
That's the word. Yeah.
See, weird.
Exactly. But I think the main thing out of that for me is like what I've learned is, if you keep living your life to not hurt other people, then when are you putting yourself as a priority?
Mm-hmm. No, true. And also, if you go through life without being hurt or without hurt, like, it sounds really nasty to say, and I feel like you
You
said
need to be hurt.
you grow as a person. I would not be we both wouldn't be the
No.
people we are if we didn't
I
get hurt.
saw this on TikTok the other day, and this is like regarding heartbreaks, but it was like I dive into, not me, like the TikTok said that, but it was something along the lines of like, if I like a person, I'll dive into a relationship. What's the worst thing that could happen? Either you break up and you're gonna learn and you're gonna grow as a person, or it's gonna work out and it might change your life for the better.
Either way, you grow. It's
grow.
a win.
It's a win. Like, it's not a fun way to win if you break up or like
But
you
it's a
get
win.
hurt. It's not a fun way, but if you think back about like all the times you've been hurt, and that's like whether that's heartbreaks over friendships, romantic relationships, or things that happen in work life, God knows, you always learn and grow. There's
Yeah.
always lessons. You always get out of each situation with like there's value to stuff.
Yeah, and I think in most cases, and most people can relate, every time that something bad has happened or I've not gotten something that I've wanted or something that's not worked out, it might take months or years to even make the connection and realise.
Yeah.
But it's always led me to a way better place.
In the end.
Yeah, and
long run.
it's not going to be instant. You're not going to get dumped or cheated on or lose a job with the next day your whole life changes. But
Yeah.
like, it's the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
Everything knocks.
I do want to say though, take this in a way of like little things. Obviously, abuse, things like that. We're not talking
Yeah.
about, we're not including that. That's not okay. So we're not talking about like toxic relationships.
Toxic behaviours, no.
Yeah.
Focus more on just things that a job offer that they didn't want you,
Yeah.
or a relationship that ends, or a friendship that ended, or even little things like, do you know the whole burnt toast theory? Like if something goes wrong in the morning, like maybe that's because then something else is going to come in your day that if you left earlier, you wouldn't have bumped into them. Like things
yeah.
always have a reasoning.
Exactly.
And I trust that.
And I think it's also like sometimes you have to follow your gut intuition if we're going to connect it to a personal experience of mine. And we always say this, even though you didn't know me in that time, but I used to be in a 6-year relationship and we bought a flat together, and after we bought something together, I decided to break up and leave the relationship. And obviously I hurt the other person. I did, in a lot of different ways. And I didn't just hurt my ex-partner, I hurt the family. I hurt like so many people.
There was a life there.
There was a life, there was something we were building together, but I was so unhappy, and I was like, I know this isn't the life I want to live for myself, and I knew I was going to hurt people, but in the end, I was hurting myself more by staying and trying to make it work.
Yeah. You always owe yourself the most loyalty and respect.
Yeah, and I think as well, like, if you keep yourself in situations in life that don't make you happy, eventually your body is physically gonna show that, and I've experienced it.
It's
Oh my
crazy
God.
how your body knows.
Yeah.
Like, if you're in a bad, it might not apply to everyone, but I also think people that are very like intuitive and like very in
Yeah.
touch with their body and their emotions, like I've been in situations where my skin breaks out, my stomach's always hurting, I'm lethargic, I'm so tired, and then I get out of situations and suddenly I'm like in my prime, and I'm like,
And that's often also like the glow up after a breakup.
oh my God, post-breakup glow-ups are my favourite thing ever, and it's even better when the other person doesn't get it. And that's how you know who was in the wrong in a relationship.
Oh my God, people always say that, right? Like, if people break up online, go to their individual profiles
Yeah.
and see who has a glow up, then
Yeah,
you'll know.
who got hotter? They were the one that was good in the relationship. The losers get worse, I'm telling you. It's a blessing. It's the universe's way to say fuck you. Fuck you and fuck them.
Have you ever had that you broke up with someone and they had a glow up after the breakup?
No.
You were the one having the glow up.
No. I think it depends. Serious relationships, obviously personal opinion. I was going to try and make it sound nice, but no. And they didn't deserve a glow up, so I'm glad they didn't. But yeah, would you say?
I haven't really been in like a lot of relationships, and luckily for me, I've always moved out of the city.
You've never had to see him. You
I've
just
never-
you flee the scene. I feel like when things are a mutual thing, I think it's natural that when you, even if like nothing happened or you wasn't in the wrong, you just fell out of love or whatever, I think it's a natural thing that after a breakup you just want to like revamp yourself because like you're on the scene again. Do you know what I mean?
It's
You need to.
Yeah, I don't think it's just that, but also to me, I think it just helps you to make yourself feel better, to get out of the slump. You know, it's nice to be in bed crying all day over a heartbreak, but then at some point you're like, I want to make myself. I even do that on days like, has nothing to do with heartbreak, but on days I'm like, I want to feel good about myself. Let me make myself look pretty. You know, like it's self-care.
Okay, top 3 things that you do if you're like feeling a bit like, ugh, what are 3 things that you do?
Oh, you know what's coming at you. Journaling. Meditating. And cleaning. You know, when I get stressed, I start to clean. You know,
the cleaning benefits me, so I don't care about the cleaning. I come into a fresh space.
You know, when I get into my emotions, how I start cleaning. Remember one day we were like cooking, and you went in the lounge with the food already, and I was like in my emotions.
Yeah,
I was like
came
cleaning.
in and because we had a friend over, and the food was on the table, and I was like, "Where? Like, it's getting cold." And I went in. I was like, "Yelka, I know you're upset about something because you're like, there's not going to be a surface left." Like she was working it down to the fucking screws. Like I've never seen anything like it. And I was like, take a fucking seat. And she was like, you know me so well. I think they're like healthy with coping mechanisms.
Healthy, yeah.
Like journaling. Like I think that's a very good thing. Most people go on benders. You sit there and write in your little notebook.
Exactly.
Healthy.
What about you?
Oh yeah, mine wouldn't be healthy. Mine would be like I'd order the greasiest like takeaway I could and waste like £50.
Okay, I'll make like plates of pasta as well.
Yeah, I feel like food just gets me out of a slump. Sounds like a loser, but if I'm having a bad day, I'll just spend time with my mum.
No, that's not. No, I get that though.
Yeah,
I
she
love your
always
mom.
makes me feel better. Obviously, and you, but I'm always
And you
with
too.
you. Walks always make me feel better, but
I got to say that.
but I don't do it. Like I find it, I get so lazy, and I'm like, oh, it would make me feel better, but I can't bother, so I'm just gonna sit and watch a show instead.
You know what? Hug a tree.
Oh my god. There is actually a science behind tree hugging.
There literally is, and honestly, I love it. Have you ever done it?
Do I strike you as the person that you'd see and start hugging a bit of bark?
Yeah,
I strike you as that person.
I am. Because I am that person.
Believe it or not, Yuck, I wasn't talking about you, I was talking about me. I was like, do I strike you as that person? You're going,
Yeah.
well, I am that person. I'm thinking, well, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about me.
I thought you said I strike you as that person. My ears, something's up. I need to get
Just
tested.
losing our English.
I'm getting old.
So this is kind of 2, but they're like interlinked with the same situation. And it also might be controversial because I feel like a lot of people don't agree with this or like offer the opposite advice.
Alana always comes with this. Alana, you're literally always like, this is going to be controversial. I'm like, oh boy.
Because people have told me the opposite of what I'm about to say, and I disagree with it. You don't need to forgive people, for one, links to the same situation. Like, do you know people are like, forgiving them will like, make you feel better? Like, no, I've lived my life not forgiving people and I'm fine. Some people don't deserve forgiveness. That doesn't eat me up inside.
Okay.
I get the concept.
Yeah.
But I just think if someone's done you so dirty, you can accept that that's happened and be like, that sucks. But to forgive someone, I'm like, you don't need... Who said that you need to forgive them? If you don't want to forgive them, don't forgive them. Like, if you can find a way to do that and but still have acceptance in yourself, that's okay. I don't get the whole, like, forgive them, like, it'll make you feel better. No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
They don't deserve my forgiveness. Linking to that, to, like, situations that it can be applied to, and I've learned this in my long time.
Oh boy.
Don't search for something or like look for something or like if they're cheating on you or if they're talking to other people if you aren't going to leave if you do find it.
Oh.
Because I've done this in the past and I've searched for things and I've looked for things and I've realised that my intuition was correct and they was doing me dirty behind my back. But I wasn't going to leave them regardless. Yeah. So I'm just staying in a relationship. I have this knowledge. It's eating me up inside. But I don't have the self-respect to actually leave. So unless you know that if you find something, you're going to leave.
Yeah.
Don't even bother looking for it because you are actually mugging yourself off. Because you found it and you're choosing to stay. And then you still push that hate onto the other person. Which as you should. But also you can't do that if you're choosing to stay because that's your decision.
Yeah.
So that's something I've learned.
I definitely think the whole forgiving, accepting. I think acceptance is a way bigger thing.
Yeah.
I do believe that as well. I'll accept things. Will I forgive? Not always, but also I'll never forget. Like if I do decide to stay in a relationship with someone, I'm not speaking romantic relationship only, but like let's say friendship. Someone did you dirty in some kind of way. I'll accept it. I might, maybe still talk to you, but I'll never forget. You better watch your back.
And sometimes that's more dangerous because like it kind of links with, I hate when people are like, that was years ago, like you can't hold that against me or you can't hold that against me. I can hold whatever the fuck I want against you. You did it. I can hold it.
Yeah, I think as well, like it depends what kind of person you are, because I know about myself and I'm learning on that I bottle things up massively. So I'll be like, I'll just be looking at you and we'll keep going, and then after 5 years she explodes.
Yeah.
It's not good though. Like I am working on that because it's not even healthy for myself.
Yeah, no.
It kills me inside.
Kills me off. I think it's such a big thing that you need to say things or like have an outlet as soon as you feel something.
Yeah.
Like as soon as you feel something, you need a way of talk about it to a friend, talk about it to your partner, talk about it. There needs to be something, because you will bottle it up. And also when you bottle things up, they get 10 times bigger than the original feeling, because over time, like if we had a problem or like we had an argument and I bottled it up and didn't tell you how I was feeling, it would still be on my mind. Because it's on my mind, I would then have so much, or like a bit of hatred towards you. So the problem just gets bigger and bigger in my head.
Because the reality you see is different as well now, because you see through a lens where you have that thing on your mind. So every little thing I might be doing then will become something else.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of like rose-coloured glasses. It's like red-coloured glasses. Like all I see is rage when I look at you. Something
Big that I've learned is, and I think as well, like I've dealt with it in different ways, just because obviously not to talk myself big up, but
go for it.
I've lived in a lot of countries.
Not that she likes to brag. You are very well travelled. You've like experienced so many cultures.
It's insane. Very grateful for that. But something big that I've learned from that is that people come and go in your life, and you can't you can attach yourself to people, but also learn to let go when it's time for you like individually to go separate ways. Because naturally I do think like you'll outgrow people. I've outgrown so many people, and people have outgrown me, and I really struggle with that in the beginning with a couple of like friendship breakups, because you're so used to like dynamic and having them in your lives. And let me tell you, friendship breakups are so much worse than actual romantic breakups.
Yeah, because you get everything, apart from obviously the physical aspects, but that's literally not important.
Yeah.
But like you get everything from that person.
It's so hard. But I also believe now is that everyone comes into your life to bring some kind of value.
Yeah.
And then once that's happened, once you've learned the value, the lesson, or whatever that person had to bring to your life, time to leave.
It's like they say, like, don't they, like, lesson or a blessing?
Yeah.
And it's true.
But I do hope that you're like a lifelong lesson.
I'm a lifelong lesson. Do you mean lifelong blessing?
Blessing. Sorry. No, but I mean like lifelong that...
We're going to be buried in the same coffin, babe. Like, we're going to get a big coffin. We're going to be spooning.
How's that going to go with the
coffin.
age difference?
Well, you might not die before me just because you're older.
Yeah. Well,
when Elfie goes, we'll keep her, and then all three of us can get put into a little coffin together.
How cute.
Adorable. Sorry, future wives. You can have a separate plot next to us.
No, but I do think like I've dealt with so many friendship breakups over the last few years, and it's rough, but I've also come to understand that it is very often for the better, because I was holding on to those people by shaping myself into someone else to hold on to them.
I was going to ask you, do you think looking back, like obviously no matter if the friendship was toxic or not, same as a relationship, it still hurts and sucks. But then looking back, do you then think like, I'm glad that happened?
Yeah, especially because like since actively coming out, looking back now with how I was dealing with myself and my sexuality, so many people at that time that were in my life, they were accepting, but they were not fully supportive. You know, it was like kind of judgy, kind of I don't know, just weird vibes.
From what
Weird
I've
vibes.
heard, bad vibes. From what I've heard, I don't think they would have. It's one thing to just be like, okay, cool, and accept it, but I think it's another to be around people that actively try and bring it out of you.
That's what I mean. Like, I feel like with you, like, you bring it out of her.
We go gay.
We go.
We go very gay.
Which I love, and I feel like I really needed that as well to embrace my sexuality as much, because
Yeah.
I don't think, like, if I didn't have the friendship that we have, I don't think I would have been as comfortable with my sexuality as I am now.
Good. I love you.
I love you.
I love you. And I think it's been so, like, it's just been cool seeing you, like, develop and get so much more confident
Yeah.
in what you're attracted to, what you like, what you don't like. Like, because I think when you first realize or start experimenting, like, as in, not like that, but exploring, I guess.
Yeah.
Relationships with exploring relationships with women, you don't really have a type. Like, when I was going on my Hinge the other day, and I scrolled, like, all the way down to, like, my first ever matches, like, when I came out. Fuck me, girl did not know what she wanted. Like, I was looking and I was like, that was a bit of a rogue choice from me. And I just think, like, being with people that you can spend time in kind of gay places,
Yeah.
or, like, you can talk to, I think it really helps you establish a sense of self.
It does. It really does. But I also think, like, have fun exploring with, like, what your type is.
Yeah, go on dates with different people, because sometimes I've been attracted to people that I had no idea that I would be.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very confused about my type to this day.
I mean, so...
About my type or your type?
No, my type. I was going to say so am I, but I do feel like I have a pretty strong type.
You do. Me and Yelka found the same girl really sexy at this event we went to. We went to the Kipling event.
The first time this actually, by the way, happened, because usually we have such no, so 80% of the time we have, like, different...
Yeah, Yelka doesn't really find a lot of the time people that I find attractive, but I will most likely find people that she finds attractive.
Yeah, fuck off.
Sorry. I feel like I've just got a broader type. Like, mine's more like the energy side of it, and yours is energy too, but, like, you still have, like, looks-wise.
Hey, that's not fully true.
Babe, if anyone's ever asked you your type, you've said the same thing every single time.
Fine.
Because then people just go, but you're describing Alana. Like,
No, literally,
she
people
is.
was like...
No, I know, because people have asked me what your type is, and I hate saying it because I know what's gonna come, and I'm like, guys, it's different.
It's not fully, though.
No, you like sporty people, and I'm asthmatic.
Alana is a bit too girly. But not girly. I don't know how to explain it. It's not like you're girly.
Like,
natural. Sorry. No, you're not.
no, like, people that you fancy don't really wear makeup and stuff.
Yeah, like...
They're like tomboys.
Moving on.
I like that one. That was very good.
Thank you, yeah. Just find your people.
I did mention my mum earlier, so it kind of links to this.
Okay. We love bringing up Claire.
I'll bring my mum up in any situation
Yeah.
possible. Like, but that babe is the love of my life. It doesn't apply to everyone because not everyone has the same, like, family situation.
Mm-hmm.
But my family, and I've said this many times before, are incredible.
They are.
Like, the most supportive, like, people. I feel like they've got such different personalities. Like, my mum and dad are so different, and, like, my dad has, like, so many, like, niche interests, so my mum just acts like she's about 17. But I think when you're younger, or, like, when I was, like, 18, even, like, 19,
Yeah.
maybe even 20, I feel like when I started coming out more, like, and meeting new people and having friends and, like, going clubbing, and I wouldn't want to spend, sorry mum, this sounds quite nasty, but I wouldn't choose to spend, like, if it was a weekend, I would choose more to see my friends and go out, get drunk, over than spending time with my family. And I think that applies to, like, a lot of, you know, young teenagers, like, when you're getting like, that's
it's
a normal
normal. You want to
thing.
find yourself, like, build your own
Yeah,
little life.
and, like, I don't necessarily regret that, because I think, like, that's just life, and that's being a 20-year-old girl.
Yeah.
But I think now, even if it's, like, you get a bit older, or you have new experiences, or, like, wherever you are in life, because obviously if some people go to, like, uni later on, or
Yeah.
different jobs, so it just depends, like, on your circumstances. And my mum's not going to agree to this, because she's going to be like, you're always in London, like, you're never here. But that's mainly also because we have filming and things.
Yeah,
like,
we have a lot
we've
to
got
do.
to do.
Our little business meetings.
Exactly. But there is nothing more in the world that I value than quality time with people that I genuinely love, and you're included in that because you're my family.
I love you.
But, like, I'm going home this evening, much to Yelka's disgust, and like I genuinely am so excited just to like talk my mum's ear off.
Yeah.
And I think I've realised like your family, dependent on situations, or even your chosen family, people that you have that you have in your life that aren't just friends that you go out with, like people that know you and you hold so dearly.
Yeah.
Like they are forever going to be the most important people, and I feel like it's so important that you don't push that aside for for anything, for friends, for relationships, for anything. I just think that is the one solid thing that you've got in life, and to receive love from people that way is genuinely, in my opinion, the most important thing. I just think like spending time with people that just love you so unconditionally, that is what you should be prioritizing over, you know, mingling with people that you don't really care, or just going out getting drunk.
Yeah.
Like I think that's something that I've learned is I would much rather have a bottle of wine in with like my parents rather than go to like my local club and
same.
meet people that I actually don't care about.
Yeah. Good one.
But
I love that one.
love you, mum, love you, dad, love you, Maddie.
Kind of linking into that, just because we just spoke about it. If you have a passion or a dream or a goal, chase it, go for it. No matter what anyone else thinks or says about it.
That links to one of mine because I was thinking of you.
Oh, I have always been a big dreamer. I still am to this day.
Yeah, not always realistic, and that's what I love about you.
I'm delusional, but hey, it's manifesting, you know. It's got to be in a frequency.
Yeah.
But I truly believe I've manifested so much of my life.
Yeah.
Because I've been in that frequency since I was a child. But growing up, taking it back to like the modeling industry, so many people said I'm not gonna make it because I'm too short. I'm 5'8", which now is more acceptable in the industry, but back in the day,
Yeah, standards were high.
Yeah.
Like, you have to be like 6 foot.
no, literally, especially like in Europe, because agencies initially tried to push me for like fashion modeling and catwalks and fashion weeks, which I hate. I don't mind not doing it anyway, but I would get so many people saying like, you're not gonna make it because you're too short, you're not gonna make it because you don't look special enough, or surroundings, like even in school, you know, like in high school when they ask you in the last couple of years like, oh, what are you gonna be doing? And I was like, I'm gonna be traveling as a model, and teachers would literally look at me. I think they even like took my parents apart, like separate, and were like, I think we need to like
Bring her back down to earth.
like she needs to know what reality is. And then you have me being delusional as always, and hey, look at me now, teachers. Look at me doing life exactly the way I said I was going to be doing it.
Exactly. You've done very well because you actively put yourself in positions for opportunities. Like, you don't just sit back and think things are going to fall into your lap. Like,
No,
you network
you
with
have
people,
to-
you meet people,
yeah.
you make that effort.
You need to, like, if you do have a goal or a dream in mind, you can't just sit and wait for it to happen. Like, the whole manifesting thing of, like, oh, yeah, write it in your notebook, be in the frequency. You still have to take action towards that to make that come true. But I genuinely believe, like, dreams do come true. I'll always be a dreamer.
That's very sweet. I genuinely believe that dreams can come true. Like that. It sounds like a Disney Channel
I
intro.
just was thinking like that Disney intro. But
You're
I
doing
do because like people, I find it's hard. Like I've been very grateful that my parents have always been supportive. And I mean,
Yeah.
at some point they were like, there's like times when, you know, the industry I'm in is very
Very fickle.
very fickle. So sometimes when like there's a few quiet months, they'll be like, so maybe you should look for like an actual job.
Like, even I've said that to you. But
No,
you're just
yeah.
like, no, I want to be stubborn and I'm sticking with it.
And I do make it work.
You do make it work.
But like obviously I know my parents are doing it, and you as well, like out of good,
Yeah.
like for out of love and stuff. I think it's really important that you have a supportive group of people around you as you are aiming for the stars. I'm aiming for the stars.
I think you need, which you don't always appreciate and love, but I think it's important to have people that aren't just like yes men. Do you know, people that would like be very honest with you about like, not humble you, but sometimes put your feet back on the ground.
Yeah, but that gives me drive as well, because I'll show you you're wrong.
And I love that. And you always do prove that me wrong.
Exactly, because I'll be like, okay, you think I can't do it? Watch me now.
This one is very basic. You've probably heard it on social media before, but it's still very valid. It's very valid to you as well.
Oh.
Because I love you. Friendships, it sounds so basic now because I've heard it so many times on TikTok. But friendships have taught me so much more than any romantic love ever has.
Yes.
And not even just about love, but about myself, about respect, about what I want in other people. And I think, especially my friendship with you, because when I was was I 20, 21 when I met you? 20? 20?
Something like that.
I don't know, I could be lying. We've been single majority of our friendship.
Yeah.
Like when we first met,
I was single.
You were single. I was
Getting
kind
out
of like we were a bit fucked up.
Bit.
A bit fucked up. And I had some like really big like triggers, not things that would affect me, but things that I would make me really anxious because of things that happened in my last relationship. So like, and I've said this to Yoga before when it happened, and I was like, you've made me realise that like people can be loving towards me. And it's gonna sound so stupid to say out loud. We was in a shop, I think we was in Liberties or Selfridges, it was a shop like that, and it was really hot, it was really busy, but I really wanted to find, I think it was shoes I was looking for, and Yelka was like, oh, like after this I need to go for a wee, and I was like, okay, it's fine, like we'll go now, and she was like, no, like I'm fine right now, but like I'm just saying, like after this, like can we go to the toilet? And I was like, no, it's fine, like it's really busy in here, like let's just go. And she was like, but you're looking for shoes. And I was getting so anxious because I honestly was like thinking that Yelka is going to be really upset and angry with me that we want to stay in this shop. And then Yelka was like, calm down, like I'm literally not, like I just need a wee, like we'll go for a wee afterwards. And it's because in my last relationship I would have been made to like, she would have went off like stropping or making me feel like I was walking on eggshells. And that's just the same with like everything. And like it's also came up like you've done or said things, I'm like, why would that bother me? And you're like, because that's how I've been made to feel in the past, you know? And I just think that it really puts you back and just thinks, oh, okay, people actually can be normal and nice and lovely and be patient with me. And I think that's a massive thing. You've taught me that people can be patient with me, because you're very patient with me. Sometimes I can test people's patience. I'm very clumsy. I forget things. I am a bit of a nightmare sometimes.
Well, my last point links into that beautifully.
Okay.
You're like waiting for the compliments. I can see like the twinkle in your eyes. You're like, one of my biggest lessons I've learned in the last 10 years, for sure, is you gotta be, I'm gonna say this wrong, the word's so wrong, unapologetically. Oh, God.
Well done.
You gotta be unapologetically yourself.
Yes.
And you will attract the right people in your life.
Fully.
Like, for so long, I was, obviously, like, I do think as a person, as you're trying to find yourself, you'll be different versions of yourself. So it's sometimes hard, like, who am I unapologetically?
Yeah, you're always evolving.
You are. Well, hopefully you are. Don't do things in a way because you want to be that person, but not because you know it's for yourself, but because it's to be validated by the outside world in hope to be accepted by certain people, because that's going to end wrong. Been there, done that. And I do think, like, now, if you're unapologetically yourself, look at me saying this word now.
Look, you're whipping it out, rolling off the tongue.
I'm so fluent. If you are, you're naturally gonna attract the right people that you need in your life. And that's you for me.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you.
I think that we've said this before, we bring out the best in each other.
We push each other.
Yeah.
In good ways.
Yeah. Sometimes in quite harsh ways. But
I mean, Alana, yeah.
But I think that if you're in a stagnant place and that you aren't growing and you aren't evolving and you aren't taking up new opportunities, I think you aren't around the right people. That you need to be around people that want to push you, that want to see you do well, not be jealous of your opportunities and just push you to do things. And I think that's what we've done. And I think we teach each other a lot.
We do. And I also think one of the biggest lessons I have now, comparing our friendship to some of the friendships I've had in the past, is, have you ever had that friendship where you feel like you're constantly judged?
Yeah. And
It's
it was like
painful.
low-key a competition.
Yeah, or even like, obviously as people, as friends, you can be in different stages of life.
Yeah.
I've very often been the only fucking single one in my group of friends, which now I'm so glad we're single together.
Mutual misery.
Mutual misery, but it does make it a whole lot better.
No, it does.
But I also think whenever I am in a relationship, I love hearing dating stories from my friends who are single, if I am in a
You
relationship.
can live like vicariously through them.
I fucking love it. And I've had in the past in some friendships that people would say like, oh, you need to put yourself out there. So I would be on dating apps. And they're like, why are you meeting people online? So then I would like go outside, but then obviously I'm not meeting anyone organically. So then they're like, well, you're not putting yourself out there. I'm like, well, which way is it?
What can I do?
What else can I do?
Speed
Shall I go
dating.
married at first sight? Like, I've
It's
got a
getting
request.
there.
I've got a request. I actually did. Oh no, this is so bad. I remember saying to my parents as a joke, when I'm 30 and I don't have a partner, I'll get on married at first sight.
You've got like 8 months.
Please help me find a wife.
Well, I got a message for Celebs Go Dating, so I'll be on Celebs Go Dating. You'll be on Married at First Sight. Let's make this work.
Let's go. You
Let's
know
do
what?
it.
I said to Alana, she should take one for the team for the podcast.
And
Marketing.
just get to know these celebrities and be like, do you want to be a guest on the podcast?
With a sticker. Slap a sticker on there.
I have one more. It's a very short one.
Of course, Alana needs to have the final word.
The final say.
Always.
Shut up.
Annoying. Love you.
Hate you. Okay, my final one, very short but impactful, is that you don't always need to know why
Yes.
with everything in life. Like,
You see, I'm learning that because I love to know the why.
Yelka, I was also thinking of you when I wrote that.
Of course you did.
Because I'm constantly trying to teach Yelka this, and she just keeps shutting her ears on me. You are learning though. I think slowly, baby steps.
I am, but then with like some recent events in life, I still, you know what I said earlier about like people come into your life, they bring value and they leave. And
You haven't fully learned that yet.
no, exactly. But learn in the
process.
I love figuring out what lesson I've learned from why someone came in my life and then left.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's so annoying because I tried to figure it out and I still haven't. And then I look into myself and then I know, but then it's too painful to
You
come face to face with that.
you do know why most of the time. It's just you don't want to accept it or you want to fight it. Like that's the difference. You know why. Like, because I've also told you why from an outside perspective. Yeah, you don't always need closure as well. I think that kind of links like why and closure.
Yeah.
The whole like, it's an excuse. And I say this to my friends and you know who you are. You don't need to have a last call or a last night or a last like meeting for closure. You can just accept it and walk away. It's such a cop-out when people say that. And like, there might be some people that disagree with me. I don't care. I disagree with you. I think it's a cop-out. And the whole like searching for why does that matter? Like someone cheated on you, okay? You coming up with the whys is only going to hurt you. There are no whys. Like, that's got nothing to do with you. Maybe they're just a really horrible person.
And also, it's not going to change the situation. Like, if you know why...
Are you then going to be like, okay, I understand it now, so I'm going to stay? Or, like, family's opinions. If someone has an opinion that you don't agree with.
Yeah.
It could just be, we're different. I don't agree with their, like, point of view. You don't need to search for an answer. Like, friendship breakups. If you're stuck on the whys, you aren't moving on.
No.
Just take it, accept it, feel it, let it go.
You know what? Actually, can I... As a
Oh,
last
of course,
word,
Yoko wants the last word.
Wait. You've inspired me with that.
Yeah.
You don't always need to know the how. Let me explain. It makes sense.
I'm lost. You've lost me.
If you want to get somewhere in life, you don't need to know the path fully to get there. It's step by step.
Yeah.
Day by day. You know what I mean?
No.
Do you actually know what? This is so typical. Yeah, fine.
I do kind of get what you mean.
You don't always need to know how. If you have a dream, very often, I am actually like that. If I want to do something, I get so impatient. You know how impatient I am. And I see the big picture.
Yeah, Yelka wants everything.
All at once.
Right now, no thinking behind it.
No. That's what I am. Anyway, I'll see the big picture, and then sometimes I overwhelm myself by thinking of all the steps to get there, and then I won't just do it.
Yeah.
So sometimes you don't need to know
First step.
everything. Yeah, you don't have to figure it all out all at once. Take it step by step, and you don't even need to know the full how to get there.
Because also you meet people, things like so much happens along the way.
Yeah.
But with anything in life,
And the
you
universe
can't
has you.
plan anything. What did you say?
And the universe has your back.
So spiritual. I love that from you. You're really cute. You're like, the universe has your back. Well, thank you for that last word. Trying to out-Trump me.
Okay, also, we would love to hear your stories about anything and everything in life.
What are some things that you've learned in your 20s
Yeah,
or 30s?
let us know, because we'd love to learn from you as well.
Yoko doesn't do much learning, but she can try.
I do learn. You should have seen me like 10 years ago.
We wouldn't have been friends.
No, we wouldn't have been. I mean, you would have been way too young to be friends with me.
I was 15 years old when you was my age. That is so funny.
No, that's so
I
wrong.
wasn't even in college. I was still in school. Like, I was taking my exams.
When you put things in perspective like that, it really makes you think.
That is so funny. Well,
Thank you for watching.
wrap it up.
Thank you for listening. And if you enjoyed watching or listening to this episode, don't forget to give us 5 stars on Spotify and subscribe on YouTube. Also follow us on Spotify. We appreciate
Do all the things.
do all the things. We appreciate the support. We truly love to see it. And we will hopefully, you better be there. See you next week. Bye.